Good afternoon, how are you doing? Just had Joe and Jason here, and Joe very kindly bought some cake, which is just wonderful. So I've got some nice lemon drizzled cake. I've got a pot of tea on the go, so that's good. I'm just turning the noisy squeaky heater off, because even though the sun's now shining, it's still cold in here until late in the afternoon because there's no sun on this part of the building. So anyhow, we've had some good chats. Let's shut that up. And we've been looking at the camera and what's going on and what's going where. And I've got to tell you, I'm in two minds with this, so I need to tell you this first. This part here is got to be removable, but not through there. So I've got to continue that rebate through there, and this, it's almost like this timber will go up and that's it. This bit here will be part of the plate holder. So I've got a choice. I either cut this off now, and I thought, oh, if I cut that through now, and then I can put the rebate in and then glue it, or I can glue these miters up and then cut through later. And I think I'm going to cut through later. It makes more sense to me at the moment to cut through later. It means that, and it doesn't sound much, it just means that this top here is exactly right and exactly in line with that one. There you go, I've just done that. There's too much of a risk of the joint not being quite perfect. So I'm going to glue this up, and I've had a good think about this. I'm going to introduce you to some plastic film, and I've just excuse me, I've just measured this, and it's just over 1 point. It's plastic film that something came in. It's just over 0.1 of a mil, so it's 1/10 of a millimeter. What is that in? Hang on. In imperial, it's 5/1000th of an inch. There you go. 4.5 of an inch. Right, okay. Why am I telling you this? Because I'm thinking that rather than waxing all this up, because I had a good chat with Jo, and she's wants me to put a different finish inside here because of the chemicals she's using. So now I'm thinking I'm not going to repair this or clean it or restore it, because anything I add to it traditionally will go against what the modern finishes needs to be. Anyhow, I'm thinking of sliding this film into behind there and behind here and behind there to stop the glue hitting, touching this old surface here. So there'll be a piece behind here, like so. Put the joint, oops, well, you can't see, can you? Sorry. Can you see? Can you see now? Anyhow, you get the drift. That's going to go there, piece of wood glued in. Any excess, can't fix it in place because it's onto that clear film. Right, I'm going to set the camera up and you can watch me do this. So I'm just going to hold this piece in the top. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'll put the glue on here now. Come on. A little bit more than I wanted. Okay. By the way, Jo, your cake's gorgeous. So, anyhow, I'm going to slot that down there, look. As I slot that down the back there, I'm going to be putting a piece in the top as well. So I'm going to push that down, and I'm going to cramp that in a minute. You know what? I'm going to cramp that now. Let me just get rid of this glue excess. Not the fanciest of clamps. a homemade one, but actually it's going to do a pretty good job. So the good thing about putting all of these little bits of plastic film behind it all is the fact that you're right there. Come on. Is the fact that it'll all be 1/10 of a millimetre away from. So that goes up there like that, and I'm going to just drop that one in there for now, and you'll catch me in a sec. Yeah, the good thing is it'll be 1/10 of a millimetre away from the frame. So actually, once I take them all out, all 4 out, by the time I've got a couple of films of varnish or whatever on, it'll take that 1/10 of a mil up. So I've got all that done. I'm just going to tap these down now they've had, now they've all got clamps on them. Obviously I want it all to stay where I've put it. So let's just show you what I've been up to. So what I've been up to is there's a bit of paper in there to keep it off that side by 2 thicknesses of paper. That film has held it off there by 0.1 of a mil. Cramp is holding the joint, so if you look at the mitre, can you see in there? Ooh, Jamie, what have you done? Sorry. Oh, it looks worse. Trust me, that's showing a gap that I can't see. Anyhow, the next joint will go over the top of that one, and that will fill with glue if it is a gap, but actually that is not much of a gap. It's the way of. God, that looked horrendous. I mean, there's no gap there. Right, and this one's some glue oozing out of that joint, and this one there was a little bit of glue. Come on. And I think I've just wiped it away. Anyhow, so what I'm going to do now is, now that's all cramped in place, I'm going to sort out, I'm going to take that cramp back off because that was just holding that while I got on with that. So that's all cramped and that's drying now. So the frame started going together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the bottom piece, then I'm going to make the sides, and I'm going to make that one. And that, so the first frame was the orange one, now we're doing the blue one. So you can see the bottom piece has got this funny little step due to that little bit down there. And yeah, you're only a few seconds away. Right, so that fits in there like that now, but the bit that's stopping it down is the 2 blocks either end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sneak in here and mark that, and then I'm also going to put it like this, like that, and mark the horizontal. So the vertical's marked, the horizontal is marked. There we go. I'll just chop those out. Just chop those out. It's not that black mark, it's a pencil line there. Just chop those out to that pencil line, that little pencil line there, either end, and then that'll be ready for fitting. Hope you're getting this. So that velvet ribbon will be trapped inside there. So I'm looking at the frame going in that way. So now I'm looking at that next layer back, which is the piece of timber that's got to go on this face here, is actually this one here. And this one here, look, is about, so if I put my finger now on that one, this one is about 2 mil, it's about 2 mil wider than that one. So let me show you what I've set up. Well, firstly, I can show you that now fits in there and it's sitting along the bottom, and that's great, but this is too high. So, but that has got, as I say, that has got to be, that thickness of timber has got to be 2 mil higher than this surrounded timber here. So what I've done is I've set my marking gauge up, and what I'm going to do is just go down there with my marking gauge and get that now so that I can saw and plane that off. So I'll do that now. There's a faint line there, you can just see it, and I'm going to trim that off. I think I might cut it off with the bandsaw because there's about 5 or 6 mil there. And then I'll finish with the plane, and then that piece of timber is actually ready to go in, so I can glue this one on next. And that's the beauty of doing it the way I'm doing it, is that I can... This glue takes an hour in the cramps, so what I can do is I can get this one done, then I can start sorting out the thickness, get this one done, then I can start sorting out the thickness of the next one and that one, sort out the thickness, get that right. And then by the time I've sorted those out, these cramps will be able to come off here. I'll be able to lose these cramps and then be ready to cramp the new pieces back in. So yeah, it's all started happening. Oh yeah, that's Stanley number 97. It's very good. I've restored it, repaired it, got it working. And that wheel on the end is just wicked. No, it doesn't go round. It's been diamond sharpened. So it's very good. Anyhow, let's get back to this. I'll cut that timber down. We'll move on to the next bit. Sometimes it's easier to just use a Japanese saw on something just to sort it out. So that's what I'm doing. The good thing about using a Japanese saw is you end up with the offcut because they're quite thin. They don't. There's not much curve, which means the gap that ends up being sawdust is very fine. So now you can just see that line. I've just got to plane to that line, and then we're ready to go. Another 1/2 mil. This plane, this is my Preston plane. This is the plane that I mentioned at the end of the last video. It's got my cap iron on it. There's on my Instagram page, there's a story all about it with about 70 photographs of it from the state it was in when I got it to its present state. So if you're interested in it, let me know and I'll drop a link in the description. Anyhow, we're getting there, aren't we? I think we're there. That's great. You need to see where I'm at now. So the piece of wood is a couple of mils higher than that piece of timber. I've now put plastic all around here so that I don't get any glue squeezing out and sticking me to the original piece. So I've actually had this frame out now. I can tell you I've had it out just to get some bits done, and it's holding together all right because of this Titebond 3, which is fantastic adhesive. You know, an hour in the cramps and that's it. So yeah, I've been a little while on this now, but not too long. Anyhow, next thing to do is glue this one in, and then I can sort out some stuff up here. But I really need this to go off quite good. This, don't forget, is going past that mitre, so it's actually creating a good strong joint here. And then the next piece that comes down here will butt into that, and then the next piece going on, another mitre. So we're making a fantastic joint there that probably it would be hard to create and fit all these surfaces as well. So doing pretty good. So let's get some glue on here and keep it away from, and I'm making mistakes, I'm filming. I've done that the wrong side. Got to take that off, glue it onto the other side. Hang on a minute. And take 2. So that piece came off there like that, so I don't want to put glue on this side. I've just scraped it off. And we'll put the glue on this side. And I don't need to go too close to the top because of the rebate there. So I need to keep about 4mm down from the top. So let's get some glue on there. It doesn't matter if I get too close to the top, I can always scrape it out. But if I can avoid putting it there. So if any of you guys watch Rob Cosman videos, he's very good, and as Rob Cosman says, one of the best glue spreaders is your finger. If you're a woodworker and you don't follow Rob Cosman, Rob is one of the ones I follow. I don't follow many. In fact, I think Rob Cosman is the only one I follow. Anyhow, so look what we've got. I'm being extra cautious. I'm more than 4mm away from that. Probably because there's a camera on me. And I don't edit. Come on, Jeremy, a bit closer. I don't mind if I have to scrape it out. I'd rather have... Oh dear. I'd rather have too much than not enough. But definitely on the right surface than the wrong surface. So. Hey. Live stuff, eh? Right, that's done. And now you're here to watch me put it in place. You know what? I'm just going to get a little bit more and I'm just going to rub a bit. I don't know whether you'll see it, into that mitre. A little bit clumsily, but it doesn't matter. The frame will come out soon. But I'm just making sure I'm covering that mitre properly. And it doesn't hurt to have it on both surfaces. Right, here we go, going in for the kill. Come on, that piece of, there's a little piece of paper there. Oh, I'm going to do without that piece of paper, I'm sure it'll go right. Right, that's going in there like so. Now I'm going to cramp that and you can look back in a minute. So yes, I put the glue on there, got all that done. Do you remember me saying about there's a little gap down here and there's a bit of a curve that bothered me a bit? Well, this is one of the opportunities I've got of rectifying that. If you can hear creaking, it's probably the glue. Not my new glue, the old glue. Anyhow, I'm clamping these two together and that gap there is gone now, so that's great. That's pretty good actually, that's great. So now, because it's slightly deformed, it will actually fit to there. I mean, this is going to be as good, if not better fit than new. So yeah, it's going pretty well. What's next? So these are drying on there. I've just cut these down to 37.5mm, which is what that one is. So these are ready to go on there. It's not going to go in because of that bit of wood there. There you go. Alright, so that goes there. So now I've just got to come just down from that rebate another couple of mil. So I will mark, how will I mark that? I think I can come down from the top, can't I? Let's sort that out. And 2 seconds later he's sorted it. Can you see what I'm going to have to move you? Hang on a sec. So yes, 37.5mm. So really what I needed to do is grab the other piece, put that in that joint there, make sure it's flush down the bottom, put it flush with the top there, and that gives me that mark there. Then I can do the same this side. I don't know whether you can see. Yeah, you can sort of see what I'm doing. That's not very good. Let's just, I'm going to undo that cramp a little bit for a second. Push it in tight. Make sure it's all tight and the cramp back up. Put that there. Take that one out. Put it over there. Sit it flush with the top of there like that. Grip it so that it's not going to move. There we go. Mark that there. Right, now those two can be chopped off, but they can't be glued on yet. I'll go through that. As I was saying, I'll go through that with you in a minute. So these are done. These are both cut to length now. That just only took a few seconds. It means now it's ready for the top piece, but I can't put the top piece yet because I've got to cut through here. So actually, it's all got to come out now. So I'm going to mark this up. I've got left on there, so I'm going to put left there so that I can recognise that one goes there. And this is the right, so I'm going to put right on here. What all you've missed out on is I ran the plane over here. It's beautifully smooth. You can see a shine on it because plane's set up really good. So that's ready for there, and I thicknessed it to 37.5 mil. So those two are ready. The clamps have been on a little while now, so I can remove these clamps. And yeah, we'll chop through that top, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. I think. Thought I'd share this with you, so I'm just taking the frame out now, and now we see just what these little bits of cellophane were doing for us. Can you see that little bit of glue? That would have held on to something. When it's great that the joints are flush. Now I can just peel that off really easily, scrape that bit of glue away, but no other glues come out, so I'm happy with that. That's really good. It's really good. And if I take those away now, I don't want this to be hard fit. I want it to be a good fit. So you'll put it in like that, and then you'll drop it down. Yeah, it's probably still a bit too snug. I might have to take a bit off here and there. I think it's down. I think it's that end bit down there is holding. But it's no worries. I can run a plane around it. I've got plenty of... That's why I've made it so tight, so that I've got plenty to take off if I need to. The last thing I need is it being stupidly tight or stupidly loose. Right, so now I've got to chop these top bits off, and I'm going to look at it for a few minutes. I might even have some tea, then I'll get back to you. You know, sometimes you just don't share things because, not that it's dangerous, but when you're quite experienced with machines and things, you know what you can get away with and what you can't. Anyhow, chopped off, square on the end, beautifully flush there now, and beautifully flush down there. I'm going to show you how good that is. That is not... so as you know, you can see I need to do the rebate. That's no problem. But that is beautiful and is not a job for the faint-hearted or stupid or curious or whatever. So now I've got to sort that out, which I've got that sorted. It's ready. So I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to put the rebate in there. I don't know whether I'm going to show you because it's really awkward to do. So I'll get back to you in a sec. Just like to go over it with my chisel just to get a feel for how it's gone. That's pretty good now. Do you want to have a look? There you go. So now you're seeing what I see. I just need to jump onto the other one. Sometimes I can never tell if you've started. Come on, stay still. It might hurt if there's a little bit too much out of here, actually, because this is the start of the rebate for the plate holder. So right, we're at 25.32. I need to stop, I think. Do I stop or carry on? I could glue the other two bits. If you can stick with me for another few minutes, I think I'll get this all glued up. So bear with me, it's longer than I thought. No walkers today neither, but it's so close, and I've got a bit of time, so I could get this done. So bear with me. We'll try and make it a bit quicker, but you can see what's going on. That looks pretty good. And you know, when I was showing you that joint, I mean, this really is close up. The glue will jump into there, so the glue will help. But that really is, that's not easy to measure how thin, that close that gap is. There isn't one this side. Right, okay, let's get on with it. Right, while you've been gone, I've sorted this side out. So it's glued on the bottom, so that it's glued onto there, and it's glued up there, and I hope I haven't filled the rebate with glue. But again, got all this plastic down the side. So that one's done, just going to glue that one on, and then we'll have another look. But it's getting there. So I've just marked out the top rail, and I've just got to cut this out. This is about it's 10.25 mil. It's about 4.5 mil. Come on, right. There you go. It's about 4.5 mil. So I'm just quickly cutting that with you so that you can see how I do some of it. Come on. And that's a lovely sound when you hear it drop on the floor. I tend to go end grain first. And this is fitted. This isn't to dimensions. I mean, it is dimensions. I get the calipers. I get the digital calipers on it, and I sort out what needs to be done, and then I transfer that on here. But it's not. It's all fitted. It's not. One side's different to the other, which I think is quite. Which is quite nice. Do you want to see it fit? Right, we'll start by getting this excess glue off that's just come through the top of there. And let's try this in, and it's ooh, okay, there you go, it's pretty good. So that now, let's move those out of the way. I can glue this on now, and I think I'm going to glue it across the corners and in place and get some strength on that. That's got to be planed a bit, it's a bit high here. Let me get some glue on that, and then I'll get you guys. So I just had a bit of a moment, and I thought some of this had actually got to come back out, but it hasn't. The only thing that's going through there is this it's like a slot in part that has to be removed. And I've seen some interest in one of these today, so I'll show you that in the next video. But anyhow, essentially the two frames are glued together now, glued in, glued together. We've got a structure. It's a bit high here. That's okay, I can sort that out. I'll check dimensions. I think dimensionally we're correct. So that's all right. Can't show you every last bit, which is a pain in the neck really, because I sort of want to show you everything that's going on, but it's not easy for me to. Oh dear, you don't want to see that. Oh, this is lost control, lost control. You don't want to see everything, honestly. It's just, but anyhow, what you're seeing is, oh, I've locked the focus on something now. Right, I'm going to let you go there. Thanks for watching. And we're getting somewhere now, aren't we? We can see it from over there. I don't know how to unlock the focus and whatever. I've locked it somehow. Oh, it's gone. No, it's still locked. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, share, like. What can I show you at the end of this video? Oh, what I can show you at the end of this video is that's going on Wednesday. And even though I'm sorry that the focus is locked and whatever, but I think it'll be great that you guys will be able to see this, because it's going to go and I'm going to video it, and we'll do a special little video on it. It's all glued in, it's all done, and the guys are really pleased with it. So catch you soon. Sorry about the focus thing.